Do you guys have any idea about the most important human invention of our generation? It's our cell phone. It's a generation full of frustration. We are amazed by technology and gadgets that are absorbed in everyday process through our veins, adopting screens as a means to communicate with our brains. One day, I stepped out of my class to walk in the hallway, and all I saw was that all the people walking by me were looking at their phones with their heads down. So I turned down to even hear the sound, but nothing that made me realize how humans are actually limiting face-to-face interactions because of our cell phones. The attraction to this technology era seems chaotically uncontrollable because it's like a relationship between a team that's going unstable, where mankind is unable to step back and see through their own eyes and not through digital screens and feel connected to the world in more than just FaceTime video streams. And do you know what that means? It means that we actually laugh out loud rather than saying LOL while making grumpy faces behind the screen, and not believing in whines that limit our attention span to only 6 seconds. So 6 seconds into this and you probably stop, drop, and fall asleep. From Twitter to Tumblr, the profiles never end, creating virtual characters of people who we cannot comprehend. So what is social media to a guy like me that is worried about the increasing screen-focusing inventions and decreasing face-to-face interactions? Social media is what philosophers call an illusion that humans hide behind to find some self-respect and dignity. But to me, it's an illusion like pollution, and not a blessing but a curse that creates no solution to the problems on this earth. And why is that when we want more conversations in person to feel connected, we disconnect ourselves from the real world to live in seclusion? A wise man once said, if I was to present my life in the forms of social media on a cell phone, it would go something like this. I'm trying to picture my future, but I can't find it on Instagram. I'm trying to follow my heart, but it doesn't have a Twitter account. I'm trying to love myself, but Facebook only has a like button. I know that did not rhyme, but the reality is up front. So where do I turn? Snapchat? But we are swiping left and right on our doubts and fantasies. And this is what I myself thought while he was saying all of this, that someone somewhere out there would be literally texting through a machine to another machine, sending a message that someone else will see but will see on their screen, because what people don't get is that you only get a tenth of a conversation through your phone, leaving the most important part of a conversation out, which is your body language and tone. I am stuck in this spiderweb of virtual realities of cell phones when I myself want to be surrounded by humans with humanity and not insanity, with a life full of technology, captivity, because I myself have these devices, 2 laptops, a tablet, and a phone to ride this, but I fight this feeling of isolation alone. Trust me, this cell phone device has become an extension of our body that we use so easily to get out of any conversation that hardly even exists, where the more I log in online to share, the less I actually do care. The more we fill our timelines, the less we control them. We end up eluding fictional characters of ourselves with personality traits we do not have. The more time we invest in these cell phones than the outside world, the more we waste it. Actually, I got caught up in an actual conversation with someone, finally, and they said school is so boring because they barely got any more friends left. And I had nothing to say because I started thinking about their Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And all I could assume was that the impression of ourselves through the virtual world hides our depression. There's a reason they call it a cell phone, because we are caught in its prison. It's controlling our lives, from telling us what to do, when to do, where to do a point, where it tells us when to wake up. We cannot even go a minute without looking at it. When it's hungry, we feed it. When we're lonesome, we need it. We use a cage to keep it safe. We pass our protected, so the only thing it sees is our face. We live in a world consumed by our phones, but do they really connect us or just leave us alone? And does this really define our generation? Because to me, this creation of a cell phone is a pleasurable frustration.
Created using Powtoon.